SGC here, we're back with a movie review. Under the Skin, directed by Jonathan Glazer. Have not seen any of his stuff, but after watching this movie, I'm totally gonna check his stuff out. This movie stars Scarlett Johansson, and that's pretty much the biggest name. I'll leave the rest of the casting below if you care to know. This movie, I went in knowing nothing except that ScarJo plays an alien who looks for men in Scotland. And I think that's all you need to know. I didn't watch trailers either, and I think that's how you should go into. Just know that this is an art film. I don't really like that title of saying an art film, but you know what I mean by saying art. It's not your typical alien seductress who preys on men in Scotland kind of film. This movie isn't for everybody, but I think everybody should watch it to understand what I think a good movie is. So what I like about this film, this movie, wow. I went back and checked out all the films that I watched this year so far, and this stands as number 3 as of today when I filmed this. And I don't think anything is going to go higher than that. Why? Thanks for Tim for setting me up with Holy Motors and Upstream Color. I can handle a film that doesn't rely on narrative or exposition or dialogue to carry a plot or the pacing of a film. It's all done through cinematography and just silence and just acting ability, really. It's just wow. Under the Skin was just a beautiful film. The storyline was epic, the progression, the pacing, the reveals, the development, everything was just wow. Like, sure, if you're not used to this, you will get bored because things don't happen in this movie. But I think this movie breaks the fourth wall in the sense where it addresses the fact that you get bored. As in, we've been force-fed and spoon-fed all throughout entertainment, is that we need exposition, we need dialogue, we need explosions, we need quick things to happen for a film to be interesting. And I was sitting there in the theater, I'm like, I'm getting bored, but why am I getting bored? It's not that boring. Like, there's a shot, or there's a couple of shots where it's just focused on her and she's looking for people, and it's a shot maybe from her rearview mirror, or when there's contemplation that's happening and it's just like a thought that lingers, but there is no exposition or thinking out loud. It was just a shot. A shot did everything, and I think that's amazing. And like I said, this movie is not for everybody, but seriously, you have to watch it. Really, it's totally recommended. This movie really defines what a great film is, as in, when you exit the theater, the more you think about it, the more it gets better. And I think not a lot of film does that. Either when you leave a theater and you're like, plot holes, out the window. That's because there's too much narrative, too much dialogue, too much smartness trying to fit into a movie or whatever. But I think in Under the Skin, the best answer is no answer. As in, you don't need to know where she came from, how she's doing all this, why she's doing all this. This is very against your typical story because you need to know these things. It's like we've been ingrained in our brains that we need to know. We need to know why she's here on Earth. We need to know how she does the things she does, and we need to know why. And it's interesting to know that in this movie, it addresses these issues. And I'm always recommending, if you have been watching all my movie reviews so far, or just videos in my channel so far, down here in the beginning of each video, I've been recommending Holy Motors review, because that movie is nuts. And I think this movie is going to take this place, because Under the Skin was just epic. Epic, epic. Total props for ScarJo to be even in this film. I mean, it's crazy. It could have made tons of money. Like, she is losing money, as Tim says, that when she's on screen, like, she can make so much more money, but she's doing this. And there is some crazy review of ScarJo's, I'm gonna say, body, and I think if you've been always attracted to her, you might want to check this movie out for one reason, but beyond that, everything else is awesome in this film. But there's a bonus of her. There's a lot of her in this movie. And for the third time, I'm saying this movie isn't for everybody. There are some issues that are kind of like, ooh, I don't want to go there. But as a whole movie, as a whole, as the overall movie, the experience, this is something that I recommend. As in, movies get better. As in, movies should get better the more you think about it. And it makes you want to rewatch it and just to experience it all over again. Unlike movies where you're just like, oh, okay, I'm done. Or I don't even remember what happened. We don't need more of these movies, but rather we need more people appreciating these movies, as in to know what is good and what is bad. I mean, Michael Bay, now this is turning into a dialogue, but seriously, I'm gonna stop there. Movie. Like, seriously. These movies are worth your while. Worth your money. Totally check it out. It's on Blu-ray, DVD, whatever right now already. Because Hong Kong is super slow in all these things. But I'm glad I watched it in theaters because it was just amazing. And I just like, wow. The experience was wow. So that's pretty much it. I mean, if you have seen Under the Skin, leave your thoughts below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And we'll totally discuss about this film. Because I can't wait to tell everybody how awesome this is. That's why I'm doing these things. Telling you how I feel about movies so you know. And yeah, that's basically it for this movie review for Under the Skin. Out.